The heart's quiet cry for help. Imagine this. You wake up one morning feeling slightly winded after climbing the stairs. It's not a sharp pain, just a vague discomfort that whispers, maybe I'm just getting older. Days pass, and you notice it again, this time while carrying groceries or walking your dog. You shrug it off, attributing it to fatigue or age. But deep down, there's a niggling worry. What if it's something more? For many seniors over 75, heart disease sneaks in like a thief in the night. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. Instead, it creeps silently, leaving subtle clues that are often dismissed as normal aging. Yet, behind those whispers lies a ticking clock, a reminder that heart disease is the leading cause of death for people in this age group. But here's the empowering truth. You have more control over your heart health than you think. This isn't just another grim statistic. This is a call to action, a chance to rewrite the narrative of your golden years. By understanding the risks, recognizing early warning signs, and making small but meaningful lifestyle changes, you can protect your heart and extend your life. Let's dive deeper into how you can take charge of your cardiovascular health and reclaim your vitality. The anatomy of heart disease, what happens inside your body. To truly grasp the gravity of heart disease, let's start by exploring what happens inside your body when things go awry. Picture your heart as a tireless engine, pumping oxygen-rich blood to every corner of your being. For decades, it has worked tirelessly, fueled by the choices you make daily. But over time, poor diet, lack of exercise, stress, and other factors begin to take their toll. The process starts subtly. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, places immense strain on your arteries. Imagine a garden hose under constant high pressure. The walls weaken, cracks form, and eventually the hose bursts. Similarly, unchecked hypertension forces your heart to work harder, causing wear and tear on your arteries. Over time, this leads to atherosclerosis, where fatty deposits, plaque, build up, narrowing the arteries and restricting blood flow. When blood flow to the heart becomes severely restricted, the result is a heart attack. If the blockage occurs in the brain, it triggers a stroke. Both events can be catastrophic, often leaving survivors with lifelong disabilities, or worse, ending their lives altogether. But here's the silver lining. Heart disease isn't inevitable. While genetics play a role, lifestyle choices have an even greater impact. Every meal, every step, every moment of mindfulness contributes to the strength or weakness of your heart. Real-life stories turning the tide against heart disease. Let's meet Margaret, a vibrant 78-year-old grandmother living in Ohio. A decade ago, Margaret was diagnosed with high blood pressure and prediabetes. Her doctor warned her about the risks of heart disease, urging her to adopt healthier habits. At first, Margaret felt overwhelmed. How could she possibly overhaul her lifestyle at her age? But Margaret decided to start small. She began by swapping processed snacks for fresh fruits and vegetables. She replaced sugary sodas with water infused with lemon and mint. Slowly but surely, she incorporated short walks into her routine, starting with just 5 minutes a day and gradually increasing to 30. Today, Margaret's blood pressure is well within the normal range, and she no longer fears diabetes. More importantly, she feels alive, energized, and capable. I used to think my best years were behind me, she says. But now, I wake up each morning excited to see what the day holds. Margaret's story isn't unique. Across the country, countless seniors are defying the odds by taking proactive steps to safeguard their hearts. Take James, a retired teacher from Texas who lost his wife to a heart attack 5 years ago. Devastated and determined not to follow the same path, James enrolled in a cardiac rehabilitation program. He learned how to cook heart-healthy meals, practice yoga to manage stress, and join a local walking group. At 82, James is thriving. His cholesterol levels are optimal, and he recently celebrated his first 5K race. I never thought I'd be running at my age, he laughs. But here I am, proving that it's never too late to start. These stories underscore a powerful message. Your heart's fate isn't sealed. With determination and the right strategies, you can turn the tide against heart disease. The role of diet, nourishing your heart. One of the most impactful ways to protect your heart is through nutrition. Think of food as fuel, not just for your body, but for your heart. Unfortunately, many Americans consume diets laden with processed foods, excess salt, and unhealthy fats. These culprits silently sabotage heart health, clogging arteries and raising blood pressure. So what should you eat instead? Start by filling your plate with colorful, nutrient-dense foods. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are rich in antioxidants, which combat inflammation and oxidative stress. Berries, particularly blueberries and strawberries, are packed with flavonoids that improve circulation. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel provide omega-3 fatty acids, essential for reducing triglycerides and lowering the risk of arrhythmias. Whole grains are another heart-healthy staple. Swap refined carbs like white bread and pasta for whole grain alternatives, such as quinoa, brown rice, and oats. Not only do these foods stabilize blood sugar levels, but they also promote better digestion and reduce cholesterol. And don't forget nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds are excellent sources of healthy fats and fiber. Sprinkle them on salads, blend them into smoothies, or enjoy them as a snack. If cooking feels daunting, consider meal prepping or signing up for a subscription service that delivers heart-healthy meals. There's no shame in seeking help. It's all about finding solutions that work for you. Movement matters, keeping your heart strong. Exercise is often touted as the fountain of youth, and for good reason. Physical activity strengthens the heart muscle, improves circulation, and lowers blood pressure. Yet, many seniors shy away from exercise, fearing injury or exhaustion. The key is to find activities that suit your abilities and preferences. Walking remains one of the simplest and most effective forms of exercise. Whether it's a leisurely stroll around the block or a brisk walk in the park, every step counts. For those with mobility challenges, chair exercises offer a safe and accessible option. Simple movements like arm raises, seated marches, and ankle circles can boost circulation and enhance flexibility. Strength training is equally important. As we age, muscle mass naturally declines, which can lead to frailty and reduced mobility. Incorporating light weights or resistance bands into your routine helps preserve muscle tone and supports overall health. Yoga and Tai Chi are also fantastic options, combining gentle movement with mindfulness. These practices not only improve physical fitness, but also alleviate stress, a known contributor to heart disease. Remember, consistency is key. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. Break it down into manageable chunks, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and watch as your heart grows stronger with each passing day. Managing stress, the invisible factor. While diet and exercise dominate discussions about heart health, stress often flies under the radar. Chronic stress wreaks havoc on the body, triggering inflammation, raising blood pressure, and increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Consider Mary, a 76-year-old widow who struggled with anxiety after losing her husband. Sleepless nights became her norm, and her appetite dwindled. Concerned about her health, Mary sought therapy and discovered techniques to manage her stress. She started practicing deep breathing exercises, meditating for 10 minutes each morning, and journaling her thoughts before bed. Over time, Mary noticed profound changes. Her blood pressure stabilized, her mood improved, and she regained a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. Managing stress saved my life, she reflects. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. You don't need to face stress alone. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups. Explore hobbies that bring joy, whether it's painting, gardening, or playing music. Sometimes, simply talking to someone who understands can lighten the load. Practical tips for heart health. Here are actionable steps to fortify your heart. Monitor your numbers. Regularly check your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Knowledge is power. Eat smart. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Limit sodium, sugar, and saturated fats. Move daily. Find activities you enjoy and make them a habit. Even small efforts add up. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Dehydration strains the heart. Quit smoking. If you smoke, seek resources to quit. Your heart will thank you. Manage stress. Practice relaxation techniques and prioritize self-care. Conclusion: a heartfelt promise to yourself. Your heart is more than an organ. It's the keeper of your dreams, memories, and aspirations. By nurturing it, you're investing in a future filled with possibility. Remember, heart disease may be a formidable foe, but you hold the keys to victory. Through conscious choices, resilience, and a commitment to wellness, you can defy the odds and embrace a life of vibrancy and purpose. As you move forward, carry this promise to treat your heart with the love and care it deserves. Because a strong heart isn't just the foundation of longevity, it's the heartbeat of happiness. The fragility of breath. Imagine waking up one morning only to find yourself struggling to take a deep breath. At first, you dismiss it as fatigue or allergies. But as days pass, the tightness in your chest lingers, and simple tasks like climbing stairs leave you gasping for air. For many seniors over 75, this scenario isn't just hypothetical. It's a reality that underscores the importance of respiratory health. Breathing is so fundamental to life that we rarely think about it until something goes wrong. Respiratory diseases, including chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, pneumonia, and asthma, account for a significant portion of deaths in older adults. Yet, despite their prevalence, these conditions are often overlooked until they become severe. The good news? You have more control over your lung health than you might realize. With awareness, prevention, and proactive care, you can breathe easier well into your later years. Understanding the threat. What happens when lungs weaken? To grasp the gravity of respiratory diseases, let's delve into how they affect the body. Your lungs are remarkable organs, designed to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide efficiently. However, as you age, their capacity diminishes. Lung tissue loses elasticity, making it harder to inhale deeply. Muscles like the diaphragm weaken, reducing their ability to expand and contract fully. Add decades of environmental exposure, pollution, smoke, allergens, and the stage is set for trouble. Take COPD, for instance. This umbrella term encompasses emphysema and chronic bronchitis, both of which cause inflammation and narrowing of the airways. Over time, breathing becomes labored, even during rest. Symptoms such as persistent coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath may seem mild at first, but they signal a deeper issue. Many seniors mistake these signs as normal aging, delaying treatment until the condition worsens. Pneumonia presents another grave risk. While younger individuals can recover from this infection relatively quickly, older adults face heightened dangers. Their immune systems weaken with age, leaving them less equipped to fight off bacteria, viruses, or fungi. A simple cold can escalate into a life-threatening illness. In fact, pneumonia is among the top reasons seniors are hospitalized, and tragically, some never regain their prior level of independence. Real-life stories, fighting back against respiratory decline. Consider Margaret, a 78-year-old former teacher who loved gardening. For years, she dismissed her occasional coughing fits as harmless. Then, during a particularly harsh winter, she developed pneumonia. Hospitalized for weeks, Margaret emerged frail and dependent on supplemental oxygen. Determined to reclaim her vitality, she worked closely with her doctor to strengthen her lungs. Margaret adopted several strategies, quitting smoking, even though she'd been a lifelong smoker, using an air purifier at home, and practicing breathing exercises daily. She also joined a local walking group, gradually building endurance. Today, Margaret walks 2 miles without assistance and enjoys her garden again. Her journey illustrates that while respiratory diseases pose serious risks, they aren't insurmountable. Another inspiring example is James, a retired engineer diagnosed with early-stage COPD. Initially, he felt defeated, believing his active lifestyle was over. His turning point came when his granddaughter asked him to teach her woodworking, a hobby he adored. Motivated by her enthusiasm, James committed to improving his health. He attended pulmonary rehabilitation classes, learned proper inhaler techniques, and adjusted his diet to include anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric and ginger. Slowly but surely, James regained confidence in his abilities. These stories highlight a crucial truth. Resilience begins with action. By addressing respiratory issues head-on, you can preserve not just your physical health, but also your quality of life. Practical steps for protecting your lungs. If you're ready to safeguard your respiratory health, consider these actionable steps. Stay active. Regular movement improves lung function. Walking, swimming, or yoga can enhance oxygen intake and circulation. Improve air quality. Use air purifiers, avoid secondhand smoke, and minimize exposure to pollutants. Practice breathing exercises. Techniques like pursed lip breathing and diaphragmatic breathing strengthen respiratory muscles. Get vaccinated. Stay current on vaccines for pneumonia, flu, and other respiratory illnesses. Monitor symptoms. Pay attention to changes in breathing patterns and seek medical advice promptly. Emotional resonance. Why every breath matters. Lung health isn't just about longevity. It's about living fully. Picture yourself strolling through a park, feeling the crisp autumn air fill your lungs. Imagine laughing with grandchildren, singing your favorite songs, or simply enjoying a quiet moment on your porch. These experiences hinge on your ability to breathe freely. By prioritizing your respiratory well-being, you're investing in moments yet to come. You're choosing to savor life's simple pleasures rather than succumb to preventable ailments. Remember, every breath is a gift, one worth protecting